Welcome back to See It and Feel It with Dr. Brett. A
Absolutely.
lot of times when you get that phone call from somebody you haven't heard from in years, they're asking for a favor, right? And you haven't heard from them in forever. And you're
Oh
just
yeah,
like, yeah. And
yeah. It
it's
was
you,
funny.
right?
Sorry, a few couple
Yeah.
months ago, I had a cousin that contacted me on Facebook. Haven't spoken to him in years. Hey, can I have $50? For
50 bucks. You're lucky. When you're
eh,
26, if you're 36, it'll be like 5 grand. If you're 46, it'll be 50 grand. Wait till you make some real pesos, then it just goes up. You're at 50 bucks right now.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
but that's disappointing, right? It's kind of like, oh man, what are you doing? We haven't
yeah.
spoken in forever, right?
Oh man, it's crazy. Well, it's not crazy. It's kind of the norm now. You get used to it after a while, and it's just like, whatever, and you just
Yeah.
shrug it off.
Well, it's that piece that, we often discuss around, not treating people like transactions ever, whether it's the waitress or, or anyone, the plumber, it doesn't matter. They're not
Mhm.
just they're a person. They're not just a transaction for your, whatever your short-term need is. It's a different way of like doing life, right? You're investing in human beings. And it does take muscle and capacity, right? You can actually grow that muscle as you've learned.
Absolutely. Another thing I've been working on with myself is remembering people's names because I'm not the
Mm,
best at names. I'm not,
right.
and it's honestly, I don't mean to do it, but so what I've been trying to do is after I meet somebody, I say their name like 20 times in my head to make sure I remember. And then also, one thing I've always done this though, but just to make sure I'm more pinpoint with it, is to remember the name of your waiter as you brought up. Remember the name of that janitor or whatever. Just say their name. Don't say, "Hey, janitor." I think you said somebody called you doctor in a message on
Yeah, they
LinkedIn.
always totally all the
That's
time.
not that's not cool. We have identities. We have names.
Yeah, totally. It's really good practice. The hard part when you meet a stranger is, because you're taking in all this new information and stimuli. And so remembering the name is not the easiest thing. A lot of people are afraid to then ask if they forget. I'm not afraid to ask. I'll ask about not just the name, but ethnicity. I ask questions that, because I'm not worried about protecting my ego. And if someone says, what, you don't listen or whatever, all it does is it's annoying, right? It'll just give me more information on them if I'm showing a genuine interest, asking, and then they're going to give me shit for it, right?
Yeah.
So I would rather ask. So I'm constantly like, oh, look, I muffed it, but what's your name again? And then boom, and then we're in. And that rehearsing thing that you do, that'll keep your mind, relatively young till you're 99 or whatever. Because I think a lot of times what happens when people have cognitive decline as they get older, not in your 20s, but 40s, 50s, 60s, they're not doing that, like learning new shit, memorizing names, learning a new language. I'm actually learning a little bit of Thai. It keeps you a little bit, a little brighter, like, you know what I mean? Because you lose some of that as you age.
Hey, how's that going though? Learning Thai.
Pom food pasta Thai Dai Nin Noi. It's going well. It's like, it's good. It's fun. Talok
All
Mak
right.
or whatever.
Okay.
How do I say that? Funny? Fun? I don't know. Anyway, I enjoy it. I mean, my wife and sister-in-law, they give me a lot of compliments. So that's helpful because when you're learning a language, it's very difficult, especially in middle age. And so it's nice to get compliments. They actually like it when I speak, as opposed to making fun of you. Right.
hmm
I don't know if you've ever had that experience, but you're trying to speak a different language and someone laughs at you. It really makes it 40 times harder.
Yeah, 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 definitely. My thing, I need to get Spanish down.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention when I was younger, and I'm learning more when I have people that speak Spanish around me. Like usually for me, it's just doing. So if you're talking to me and I'm listening, I can pick up what I'm saying, what you're saying. But when I'm on like what is it, Duolingo? You ever heard of that app?
Yeah, of course, definitely.
It's so
Yeah.
hard. It's so
Yeah.
hard.
Well, it's time for a Mexican or some kind of Spanish girlfriend, right? Because that's a really great way to, you immerse yourself in the culture, right?
I'm
I mean,
around a
that's
lot of
what
Puerto
I
Rican.
did. Yeah, Puerto Rican, right? I spent 5 years with a Puerto Rican woman. She didn't speak Spanish with me. It was really one of my Mexican girlfriends that spoke the most Spanish. So that's
Mhm.
why I say no habla, nada, no recuerdo nada en español, soy en gringo, right? I always say that all the time, right? Because it's like, I'm basically saying, look, obviously I learned some Spanish, but I'm pretty much a Dumbo right now at this point, right? I don't remember anything.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's fun to like have at least a little bit in other languages because again, it's another way of connecting, right? It's like when you
Mhm.
know when you're taking the time and the energy and the focus to learn a little bit more about a language, you're really learning their culture. You're showing a genuine interest in other. So another thing that you're going to be doing as you build out your career, how's the real estate going? What's new there?
Okay, so my next date is December 8th. I'm proud of one of my fraternity brothers. He passed the exam and he said it was no joke either. He had to take it twice. So I'm just buckling down. This time I am trying to take a practice exam every single day to make sure I'm
Mm.
on it.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's so smart. How long is this real estate test that you have to take? You know,
hmm, I want to say like an hour and a half because
wow.
there's two sections. You got the national section and the Connecticut section. The Connecticut section is only like 35 questions, which is a problem because if you get some wrong, you'll fail. The national was more like 100, I believe,
Right.
something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I hate the test, but I can't wait to get into real estate.
Yeah, no, you're going to be good at it because you've really developed this muscle around connecting with people and you're super genuine. So now we just got to get through this sort of exam thing. And like you said, a little bit every day, even though it's tedious, right? Once you get through it, you'll be on the other side and hopefully you'll never have to take another test again. Like I've taken a
Yeah,
thousand tests in my lifetime. I just don't want to take another test.
yeah. Unfortunately, you do. I think in the state of
Uh,
Connecticut, every 2 years, I think every 2 or 3 years, you have to take another exam. They call it continuing education in order to keep your
oh,
license.
gotcha. I gotcha. But I don't think, once you get there, it's probably supplemental in some way. I doubt it won't. I don't think it'll be as hard the second time. That's my guess anyway. Once
Yeah.
you're through it, you'll be on the other side and you'll be building out your business and networking. You're still doing the networking now though, right? Just harder in the COVID thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's harder because I do still have to go out to go meet with my fraternity brothers and meet with other people. So I think I'm pretty in the same place that I was before COVID. Maybe the first 2 months when everything was on lockdown, but now things are starting to open up, so I'm still able to network with everybody and everything. So it's good.
That's nice. And what about your background as an investigator? How has that influenced you in your life? How does that influence you currently?
Way more observant of people.
Wow, I like it, Ashante. I
Yeah,
like it, but also the good, not just the bad, because I think as an investigator, like a police officer, you're vigilant around the negative. Are you also picking up the positive?
yeah. I also pick up the positives too, but like I said,
Yeah,
very observant. It's nice for me now to sit down in a room and I'm off to the corner somewhere just watching people. People
yeah,
watching the things
yeah.
that people say,
So
what
it's
they
amazing
do.
how much you can pick up, right, when you actually pay attention.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So that's
Yep.
actually a good background, right?
Yeah, it is. The only thing I haven't figured out yet is remember me and you had the conversation about I can't tell when somebody's flirting with me.
I never believed you.
Yeah, I still can't. Like I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
is she just
don't
being
know.
nice or is she?
I don't know, man. I think you're going to be able to figure that one out quick. I'm not convinced. I think there's a part of your brain that that splashes in that river called denial. She's obviously flirting with you, but for some reason, a part of you doesn't want to recognize
Yeah,
it.
probably. Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's a high class problem. You know what I mean? Like at least they're flirting with you, right?
Yeah, right.
Some people almost never have that experience, right? So you're just struggling to recognize it. Well, I think you're going to get through that one. I do. I have a lot of confidence in you. At some
Thank
point, the light bulb's just going to go off, and you can be like, "Oh, I get it. She's flirting with me." And then the other one, not really. Yeah, not the case at all. What else are you curious about? What we got you here on a podcast, which is a little different, right?
Yeah, it
So,
is a little.
anything else that you want to ask or that you want to share while you're here with Dr. Brett on See It and Feel It?
Oh yeah, I want to talk to you about that picture right behind you. Looks like a
Oh,
nice little
the
golf swing.
Ben Hogan,
Look.
1950 US Open at Marion, where he hit the famous 1 iron shot on the 18th hole. That picture?
So I don't know who's watching this. Look, I used to be a caddy, and so I had to learn how to play golf so I could actually have some type of interest in it and know what I'm talking about when I was giving my tips. Golf is one of the most frustrating and fun sports to play. You want to talk
Yes.
about a mental game? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah. It's amazing. We played a week ago. I played yesterday. I've been playing once a week now. And I played a week ago. We teed off at 2:30 at Abacoa in Jupiter. And we finished the 18th hole in pitch dark at 6 p.m. I literally, I hit a drive, it smacked off the club, and I knew I hit it well, but we had to go find the ball. There was 3 players left out of 4. One guy quit, it was so dark. The other guy sat in the cart next to me, my friend, right? He sat in the cart, he was too dark for him. And then this other stranger that we got hooked up with was still playing, right? We both hit our drives. It turned out we were roughly 250, right center of the fairway. I was shocked. We were both within 5 yards of each other. We found the drive, but it was a 430-yard par 4 over water. I hit a 5-wood. I cracked the next shot in the dark. I literally just had a trust. I go into self-trust, right? I cracked the next shot. It sounded perfect or whatever. But again, we couldn't see it. Couldn't see it for any of it. I get to the green. My friend is now gone because he lost his ball. He's like, I don't know, wherever he hit it, it wasn't near the green. I was 15 feet for birdie in the dark. And I pulled the putt a foot to the left and made the little par putt. I literally was high I was lit up the rest of the night. I was so high from literally parring a really hard golf hole in the dark. 430-yard par 4 over water in the dark, 2 perfect swings, a lousy putt, and then a little bit of tap in, and then I'm sitting there walking off like, absolutely thrilled. So yeah, golf is almost entirely mental. It was all about letting go. You know what I mean? I said to myself, you just got to let go and trust because you can't see anything. So you're just trusting, right? Letting go and trusting. And that's a big part of golf where sometimes your best shots are, just letting go and trusting. You're not, obviously you have to have decent form. So you need to be able to play the physical aspects of it, meaning get enough lessons under your belt, whatever that is, so that you're not physically no good, but once you get to a place where your swing is decent, it becomes about just letting go and trusting. Each shot is this 15 seconds of pure focus, and then boom, you let go in between, and now you're back to your 15 seconds of pure focus. You're set, your pre-shot routine and so on. But yeah, I love the game.
Yeah, because I remember I wasn't trusting my shot. My balls were going in the woods. It was bad. It was really, really bad for me.
Well, part of it probably was you didn't work on the correct swing. I took 10 lessons when I was 18, and then I took 3 lessons when I was 40. So you know what I mean? And I've sort of grooved my swing. I don't swing that hard, so I can really trust it. And then it's just a question of whether my putting stroke comes or goes because I don't have a lot of time to practice. So some days it's there and some days it's, not there at all. So short game can really disappear if you're not practicing. But the other parts of your game, if you're, if you're not playing that often, if you have a lot of self-trust and a lot of mental discipline, you can play pretty well, right?
Yeah.
But you want to get to a place where you're, like I've talked to you about this for business, right? It's just a great way of building relationships. So it's worth putting the time in, getting a few lessons, getting a decent swing, and then you get to practice that swing.
Yeah.
What else, Ashante, while we got you?
I think that's about it.
All right. Well, welcome to See It and Feel It. I'm Dr. Brett. I'm here with Ashante McPherson, all-around good guy, future real estate entrepreneur, former boxer, and a rapper. All right?
Master, what is it? Jack of all trades, master of none.
Well, you're on your way. You're going to master several at some point. We're going to work on that too. Thanks for watching See It and Feel It with me, Dr. Brett. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like, subscribe, or share it with a friend.